Have I mentioned how difficult it is to write? It's one of those things, like, I like writing, but like also it is so tiring because sometimes I'll be really motivated for the concept, but when it actually comes time to work, like, writing is in fact a job, and like the work part of it still sucks. Like, it doesn't matter what your career is, the work side of it is always going to be awful. Like, I look at the done things and I'm like, cool, I did that, that's great. But sometimes the writing part of it sucks. So I am finally back. I had to take some time off of writing, so I'm back trying to get this done. It was supposed to be out this month. It's the 21st. That's not going to happen. It's going to July. But finished up the first section for Lunaza, so now I have 2 more to go. I don't know that it's going to happen today, maybe tomorrow, but I've kind of planned out the last week of June as like a catch-up time, and then I can also potentially start editing as well. We're gonna see how that goes because I just don't know, but we're gonna try. So for now, I'm gonna take a little bit of a quick break and then either return today or tomorrow to finish up Lunaza. Then I just have Mabon, Samhain, and the conclusion to go. I totally forgot to record for the other chapter, but I have finished up the Lunaza section. So again, this book is so hard. Writing witchcraft books truly is such a challenge because, like, again, I keep my goal of every chapter has to have 1,000 words, and sometimes the struggle to get that 1,001 is rough. But, like, I mean, I'm glad when it's done, but it's so much work. Like, I just half the time I'm like, I don't know, am I just rambling? Probably. But also, like, is it things that need to be said? Also probably. Because my problem is I always tend to underwrite, and I know that I will fix it up a little bit once I get to the editing phase, but like, this part, so rough, but at least this is done, and this week I will be finishing up this book, and then it will be coming out in July. Something I am definitely noticing is that I don't know how big this book is gonna be, and I don't know that I care. Like, there was a point in my writing where I wanted my books to be a certain size, and I've done it a few times, and now I'm like, it's fine. Like, it'd be cool, but like, I'm not gonna really stress about it too much, which I feel like is great. It's nice to have that shift. But yeah, working on Mabon today, got the first one done, 2 more to go, and it is not even 9 o'clock yet. Ignore the lovely construction noises. It never ends. It's been going on for, like, I swear, 2 weeks now. It's great. So when you hear weird noises in the background, it's just the construction dudes doing I don't know what. Anyways, but this chapter, even though it's not that many more words than the previous ones, oh my god, it took forever because the Witch's Thanksgiving took so much research. And I decided this time, instead of just leaving it for later me to deal with, I am not doing that to myself. I'm dealing with it now, which meant I had to research so much stuff because it's mostly kitchen witchery, and also made me realize that that is the book I want to write because, like, none of them have it. Like, it's so great that we have, like, the most random plants that you never heard of ever, and it's like, cool, these are obscure things. Why is there, like, no information on, like, pasta? I could not find anything, and, like, I guess you could probably argue, like, we'll just look up wheat, but, like, the most information for any of this that I was finding was, like, random blog posts, and, like, even then the information was so sparse. Like, I only found, like, for pecans, the most information I really found was, like, online, was from, like, a random shop somewhere in the world online that happened to have it listed. So needless to say, I would like to make my own quick reference book of, like, hey, for your most generic items in your house, here you go, your most basic cooking, here's the magical stuff, because I think we need that. It's on my list to be written at some point. Now on to the 3rd one, and then I'll be done for the day. I finally did it. Mabon is done. And, like, honestly, this last section, gonna be a breeze. I'm actually the most excited for it, which I don't think is very surprising. us witches, we love Halloween. And so I'm like, even just at the end of this chapter, I'm like, but Halloween. Because it's like, I love that more, you know? Thanksgiving was never my favorite holiday, and that's kind of what Mabon is. And like, I don't care as much. I mostly care about Halloween. I want to get to the ancestors and pumpkins and ghosts and overcoming our fears of it and like the witch's new year. Like, that's gonna be awesome. You know what's not awesome? Hey, did you know that it's Thanksgiving time and you gotta cook? Like, I don't know, it's not the same. I think most witches love Halloween. So it's like, I'm actually excited. And tomorrow, theoretically, I will be finishing the book. I mean, I could technically drag it out one more day, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just gonna do the extra 4-chapter plan instead of 3 chapters and then like an extra day and just have it done. So yeah, very stoked. Loving it. I'm excited for tomorrow. And then comes editing time. So, but I'll at least get this done in the month of June, which is pretty good. Needless to say, the Samhain section's a little intense. So I did not plan to have the most to say about the ancestors, but here we are, 4,675 words. Now granted, it did go up significantly because I did use rituals from my other book, The Death Journey, because it's literally the same thing. Like, it's like, if you're gonna go visit the dead, here's what to do. And so I felt like it was fine just to throw those in and be like, here you go. But yeah, big chapter. Big chapter. Almost got us up to 40,000 words with this one. I'm at 39 something thousand words. So like, it was a chonkers. And now I have 2 more chapters for Samhain to go. It's almost 9 o'clock. And then the conclusion, and then I get to move on to editing. Honestly, I love these chapters. I could probably write an entire book for Samhain and not be bored. It is my favorite time of the year. So got this one done. 1 more for Samhain to go, and then the conclusion, and then I am done with this draft. Almost there. I actually ended up really enjoying this, and it's a ritual that, ironically, I actually do plan to repeat myself. That's one of the reasons I've been writing these, is that I need rituals for myself, because I can make up rituals all the time. I need them for myself to keep me in line so I don't feel like I have to rewrite them every single year. That's what this book is for me to have my own book of rituals to be like, hey, it's that time. Do you want to do something? Now it exists. And I can just flip to my own book, which I do many a times now. That's why I write these books. But now, just the conclusion, and then this draft is done. Honestly, I was not really having my goal in mind of 1,000 words for the conclusion. To be honest, I was like, you know what, it's the conclusion, like, just say some words and get to the end and it'll be fine. But like, the more books I've read on conclusions where I'm like, just say the words, get some wrap up. I actually didn't mind it. It actually went really fast. I had like 300 words, then I was like, I'll just read through it just to be sure. And then I ended up adding like 700 words. And there we are. And word count for draft 1 is, whoa, if we could zoom correctly, 44,325 words. So now I am gonna go get cleaned up, and then we will chat about getting to the end of this draft. Because this is what I typically look like while writing. I kind of am just a goblin, which is how most authors are. The writing situation is not camera friendly. We just tippity tap. So I'm gonna go get cleaned up and then we'll chit chat. Ta-da! I now look like a person again. So yeah, I finished the draft, and honestly, this has taken so much longer than I thought it would. Like, genuinely, I looked and I haven't finished and gotten to the end of a draft 1 since like February. It is the brink of July. So like, my goal is still attainable-ish. Like, if I really stick with it, I actually can do the things that I want to do. But like, I'm looking at my goals for 2024 and I'm like, publish 8 books. I've got 2. But I have plans for the remaining part of the year, because I have realized that like there's the thing of like writing the trends, right? Like you write what is trending, what is the market, like you write what sells. I get that. But I don't do it the traditional way, where typically it's like, oh, spicy romance, that's what's selling. I don't understand why. Most of it sucks so much. I did try and read one, by the way. Didn't love it at all. Okay, this is such a side tangent and not related to the book. I wasn't planning to talk about it, but here we are. So I'm just gonna do a brief talk about it, because I actually have it in my collection of books to take back to the library. This one, it was recommended. Why I ever freaking trust the internet to recommend a book, I don't understand. But everyone was like, this is so good, it's so fun, blah, blah, blah. No warning that it's just porn in a book, but here we are. So, That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. The title, it sounds so fun. It also has like representation, like it's not just white folks. That was cool, because it's fun to read different people's point of views. I like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I genuinely, like, I usually don't actually care. Like, I don't look up the author. I just find fun books. And so, like, when that was the cover, I was like, cool, I didn't anticipate it. Like, it's cool. He's kind of got, like, some more, like, Asian look vibe to him. And she's got more of kind of, like, an African-American vibe. Like, I love it. And, like, the random details, like, her talking about her hair, like, it's, like, cool. Different, don't know things, awesome. I was excited. And like the writing is so fun and yet sucks so bad when it sucks. And yes, I know talking about it being a spice book, that's a bad phrase, but like genuinely, I just skimmed those. I didn't even skim it. I skipped it. I just flip page until we get to the next chapter. And like just kind of glance at the previous, like the last sentence to be like, is it still that scene, or did we move on? It didn't actually influence the story whatsoever, so it didn't need to be there. And like, when it wasn't those scenes, so good, so fun. It felt like a D&D campaign that just derailed, which is every campaign, and it was so fun. And like the writing was awesome. I loved her voice. Like the character is just so sassy. And some people didn't love it. It was a little too like TikTok kind of talk, but like I loved it. It was awesome. She was just, it was a hoot. And I know some people are like, if it's a fantasy world, like you can't use like slang. And I'm like, fuck off. Go read Brandon Sanderson if that's what you need. Like I am totally down to use modern slang in a fantasy setting, because like guess what? It's not real. Shocker. And like that part, so fun. Pacing, little weird, and like kind of, woo! Started off real slow and then just jumped, but also truly if like I found out that the author had done like a D&D campaign and then this was what happened, that would make sense. But then like the spice scenes sucked. It was so horrible. And like I didn't even read them. I just like I screenshotted a couple and I sent it to my hubby, and he was like, wow, that kind of sounds a little grapey, you know? Like it's not good. It's awful actually. And as an ace person, an asexual person, I mean, if we need to get very specific, kind of playing more with the term of like demi, but like still within the ace community. It's just, it's a subcategory within the ace community. And like, that's not my thing. And so like, I wish authors would talk about that more. So I knew not to grab this book, because genuinely I wouldn't have. It sounded like fun. It sounded like, why can't we have fun books without porn? Why can't that be a thing? Genuinely, I would love to have these sort of fun books where I don't have to skip a bunch of pages, because like they suck, and it rips me from the story, and half the time it makes me so unbelievably uncomfortable because it's written in such a graphic, and like you're just, it's such derogatory words, and I hate it. There's a reason I don't write that. And I would make so much money if I did, but I don't because I hate it. So anyways, if it wasn't for the spice, I would have absolutely loved this book. The pacing was weird, but like whatever. And the characters were awesome. I loved the writing. And it was just a silly, fun story, but that killed the story for me completely. So anyways, back to the other point. I gotta go clear out some space on the SD card and then we'll continue. Anyways, back to the point of the video. So, I am planning to write to my market, which is the books that are selling. So like, I really don't sell my fiction books, and honestly I'm just kind of coming to accept that I write fiction for me. It just heals a part of me, and that's it. And like, you know what, it's fine, because like my witchcraft books are also things that I want to write, I want to have available, so like it's fine. But like, it does suck when you've got like all of these plans of these fiction books and then you're like, I literally haven't sold any of them for months. So I'm readjusting my writing plans and switching over to much more witchcraft books for a while, and then writing fiction in the background a little bit. So I'm planning to be eventually having more of like 4 fiction books a year, and then 12 a year theoretically, hopefully, if I can actually stay on top of things, because I would love to publish monthly. That's my goal. Did I succeed this year? No, I didn't do January. I did February, March, and then all this time I haven't, and my reflections are so shown in the sales of that. So yep, that sucked. But in the meanwhile, I have sold a few books in the not publishing books time of this year, and you know which ones they were? Not fiction. It was Path of a Witch and The Death Journey. Back and forth between those two. Not a lot of sales by any means. Very transparent. Like, I've had one sale every month. That's it. One. Singular. Sometimes it's an ebook and you're like, woo! I made $4. Half of that goes to taxes. So, cool. And then, like, ooh, I sold a paperback. I've made like $6. Again, half of that goes to taxes. So it's not a lot, but like, it's something. And I feel like the more witchcraft books I have out there, the more likely I am to get those single book sales. And then eventually maybe I'll even hit 10 books in a month. The dream, right? To like actually sell your books. And so I'm planning to write to my market, which is witchcraft books. And so I have got 7 planned to come out this year. And I'm gonna be writing more too, obviously. But I've got Turning the Wheel, this one, obviously. And then Cycles of the Moon, I have The Witch's Mind, Witchy Weddings, Keeping a Magical House, and tentatively Practical Witch's Kitchen. Because in writing Turning the Wheel, I have realized I need that book. Because there's not information. Tell me the magical properties of a black bean. That can't be found anywhere. It's generic, but like, wouldn't there be a magical difference between lentils, beans, and green beans? You would think. So it's gonna be a little bit of research and a lot of bit of UPG, because that's how that's gonna work. Because there's nothing, and like, when I go to the kitchen, I just want to have a book that I can just grab and use, which is the point of my books. That one, done it plenty of times. The Death Journey, so many times. Just grab that book when I need it, good to go. So anyways, I'm changing my writing plans and trying to publish more. So I am going to be editing this book while writing the next one. And I am planning to try something different with the cover, because I just watched Mandy Lynn's video today while I was getting ready to write for how to create a cover on Canva. I love Canva. I have used like Photoshop before. I feel like you need an actual degree in Photoshop to use it. It is not user-friendly. She has an obvious bias towards it, but like, she's a graphic designer, so to her it's just a normal program. But that's like, if I tried to tell you all of the lens crap and science and stuff of your glasses, and then you're gonna go to like Pair Eyewear or whatever and just get it there. Like, there's the good way to do it, and then there's the cheap way to do it. And like, you know what? Sometimes the cheap way, it gets a lot of slack and a lot of like, huh, yeah, but like, it's sometimes a fine option. That's how I'm feeling about Canva. Like, it has more options, because when Amazon bought out CreateSpace, they ripped the cover create option. Like, it sucks so much. The other one was so much more better, so intuitive, and this one sucks. But it's all we got, because like, or not Amazon, Barnes & Noble doesn't do it at all. They're like, just figure it out yourself. So like, theoretically, I could use it to get better at making my own covers. One day I'll buy her course, but it's like almost $400. That's a lot of money. But if I can make it on Canva, publishing every month, that I could do that. Like, again, her comments about it was like, it's fine, honey. Like, not all of us have money to pay you like $500 for a cover every month. That's a big expense. So give me my free option. I use Canva anyways for my like thumbnails and whatever. So I'm gonna try it, I think, this time and see if I can make a better cover, and maybe that'll help it sell. I would love to sell books enough to get, you know, food. That'd be cool. That'd be awesome. That's one of the dreams, to be able to just go to the grocery store, have enough money from my book sales to go and get everything on my grocery list. Wouldn't that be the dream? So anyways, that is kind of where I'm at for the end of this book, and then I will check in with you guys for next time when I start the editing process. And I have a few notes of things I gotta go through and add, but overall, I'm very excited for this book. I think it's gonna be great. It's different than what's currently on the market, so I think if people give it a chance, they might like it. So anyways, if you would like to buy my books, they're linked down below. And of course, until next time, make sure to like, comment, subscribe so the algorithm gods know that I exist. And I will see you all next week for the, hopefully soon, updates. And then I can show you a proof copy soon.